The Galactic Syndicate was known across the universe as a governing body that rarely made mistakes. Its decisions were calculated. Its operations were flawless. It oversaw trade routes. It maintained order. It resolved conflicts. Yet even the Syndicate had its moments of grave miscalculation. One such moment involved humanity. It began with a bold and reckless decision by the Krell Dominion. The Krell were a warrior race. They thrived on conquest. They believed in dominance. To them, weakness was intolerable. This mindset often led them to underestimating other species. When humans began expanding into the outer systems, the Krell took notice. They observed the humans with disdain. They dismissed them as fragile. They mocked their emotional tendencies. But they also noted their rapid technological advancements. The Krell saw an opportunity. They decided to test the limits of this new species. On a distant colony named Hope's Reach, a group of human settlers lived in harmony. They cultivated the land. They built homes. They raised families. Among these settlers were children. They laughed. They played. They dreamed. It was a picture of peace. The Krell saw this as a target. They launched a raid. Their ships descended from the skies. Their warriors stormed the settlement. The humans fought back, but they were no match for the Krell's superior numbers and weapons. In the aftermath of the raid, the Krell took prisoners. Among them were human children. The children were taken aboard Krell ships. They were transported to a high-security prison on the Krell homeworld. The warriors saw this as a victory. They paraded their captives before their leaders. They expected praise. They anticipated glory. Instead, they were met with confusion. The Krell leadership questioned the decision to take children. They saw no strategic value in it. To them, the younglings were insignificant. But the warriors defended their actions. They claimed it was a warning to humanity, a demonstration of Krell power. The leaders reluctantly agreed. Word of the raid reached Earth. Humanity was outraged. News of the captured children spread like wildfire. Governments convened emergency meetings. Military forces were mobilized. The United Human Alliance issued a stern ultimatum. They demanded the immediate release of the children. They warned of severe consequences. But the Krell were unfazed. They believed humanity's threats were empty. They underestimated the resolve of the species they had provoked. Meanwhile, aboard the Krell prison, the human children were not what the guards expected. They did not cower in fear. They did not beg for mercy. Instead, they observed. They adapted. They formed alliances among themselves. They explored the boundaries of their confinement. They asked questions. They learned the Krell language. They deciphered their captors' routines. The children's resilience began to unsettle the guards. But the ship was not as abandoned as it seemed. As they explored deeper, a low hum began to resonate through the corridors. The glyphs on the walls grew brighter, pulsating in rhythm with the hum. It was as if the ship itself was waking up. Panic set in among the crew. Some wanted to leave immediately. Others argued that they had come too far to retreat now. Captain Mendelson silenced them all with a glare. Her decision was final. They would press on. In the heart of the vessel, they found it a massive chamber dominated by a sphere of light. It hovered above the floor, its surface shifting and rippling like liquid energy. The hum grew louder as they approached, vibrating through their very bones. The crew's equipment began to fail one by one. Their systems shut down. The Peregrine itself lost contact. Captain Mendelson ordered her team to secure samples and prepare to leave, but it was too late. The sphere erupted in a blinding flash of light, engulfing the entire chamber. When the light faded, the crew found themselves standing not within the alien vessel, but back on the Peregrine. Systems were online. The ship's engines hummed steadily, but something had changed outside. The MothYard was gone. In its place was a swirling nebula of color and light unlike anything they had ever seen. As they tried to make sense of what had happened, the sphere appeared again. This time it hovered outside the ship, its light pulsating in a steady rhythm. It seemed to be waiting for them. Captain Mendelson gave the order to move toward it. Reluctantly, the crew obeyed. As they drew closer, the sphere expanded, engulfing the Peregrine once more. What followed was a journey unlike any they had imagined. They were shown visions of civilizations long gone, great empires that had risen and fallen technologies that surpassed their wildest dreams. They saw the birth of stars, the collapse of worlds, and through it all the sphere guided them, showing them the potential of what humanity could become. When they emerged from the sphere, they found themselves back in known space. The MothYard was gone, and so was the alien vessel. But the knowledge they had gained remained etched into their minds. The crew of the Peregrine became heralds of a new age, sharing what they had learned with the rest of humanity. The MothYard was not just a graveyard, it was a test, a crucible through which the worthy were forged and humanity had passed. It was the beginning of an era where humans no longer looked to the stars with fear, but with hope. The MothYard had transformed them, and in doing so, it had secured its place in the annals of human history. Captain Lira Mendelson and her crew became legends. The Peregrine's journey inspired generations of explorers, scientists, and dreamers. Humanity entered a golden age of exploration, driven by the knowledge that they were not alone and that the universe held wonders beyond imagination. The advanced technologies they salvaged accelerated progress on Earth, bringing prosperity and unity to a fractured world. Yet even as humanity thrived, questions lingered about the MothYard. Was it truly destroyed, or did it merely shift to another dimension or location? Was the sphere an artifact of a long extinct race or a sentinel of some greater cosmic power? These mysteries fueled endless debates and research, but the answers remained elusive. Decades later, a new fleet of human ships ventured into the Orion sector, hoping to uncover more secrets. Some sought to rediscover the MothYard, others wished to find similar phenomena to further humanity's understanding of the cosmos. None succeeded. The MothYard remained an enigma, its purpose fulfilled, its presence now a memory. In the end, the story of the MothYard was not about loss, but about transformation. It was a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the universe, light could be found if one was brave enough to seek it. Humanity had faced the unknown and emerged stronger for it, and though the MothYard was gone, its legacy endured, written in the stars and in the hearts of those who dared to dream.